Howdy. How goes it? This is episode number 9 of the Clay and Woodrow Show. And just kicking off right off the bat, I want to welcome you to the Omar Oliver Studios. And at the same time, just remind you that we are on the 17th floor of the Trellis Carpenter Building. And I'm with my producer today, Mr. Don McLean. Don McLean. And if you got any questions for the show, you can hit up Don McLean over here at AmericanPie@yahoo.com. Don, thank you for being with me this morning.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
As always. So just a couple. So the funny thing is my all the feedback that I'm getting is okay. Enough with all the football stuff. So I'm going to condense it. I'm going to keep condensing it, and I'm trying to make Christy Miller happy. She just breaks my heart and tells me she just cuts right through the football stuff and picks up on the rest. But football is important. I think it's in South Georgia, correct me if I'm wrong, it's faith, family, and then football, correct? Not academics. They're way down on the list. Faith, family, football.
It's easy to remember because it's 3 Fs. That's how I do that.
Thank you very much. 3 Fs. So with that being said, and speaking of Christy Miller, today's sponsor is Miller Tire. And I just want to thank the folks at Miller Tire. Once again, Miller Tire has no idea that they're sponsoring today's show. But down the road, we're going to actually find people that are going to pay us for sponsorship. Don't know why someone would pay us for sponsorship, but just the simple ideas of marketing. I think we were over 1,000 views for the last episode. I don't think we hit the Randy Royal 2,000 mark.
We did not. That's what I was looking for, basically. Yeah. We didn't hit that, so I lost track.
Okay, yeah, but we were over the 1,000 mark, and so I think any day now sponsors are going to be knocking on this door.
Rolling in the door.
Yeah.
We're
going to be rolling in the dough.
That's right.
Rolling in the dough.
That's right.
So, but Miller Tire is our sponsor today. And I don't know if you're aware of this, Mr. Producer, or not, but Subway is adjacent to Miller Tire. And Subway actually has a problem with Miller Tire being its neighbor. And I'm secure enough in a man as to say this, but Brett Miller, that's a good looking man. So that's what the problem is. He's just what they say, a tall glass of water or whatever.
Yeah, drink of water. Yeah,
like soap opera good looks. And so the ladies are going to Subway and only buying like water and Diet Coke, and they're just sitting at the window so they can get
get his attention.
Trying to get a peek at Brett Miller turning wrenches. That's an expression I like to use. turning wrenches. So Subway is just like, listen, we understand the desire to sit and watch Brett Miller turn wrenches, but you got to buy at least a 6-cent sub.
Yeah, because they can't make any money.
They can't make any money if people just sit there drinking water and watching Brett Miller. So Miller Tire, thank you for your sponsorship today. And we really do appreciate that. Do want to go over some football. And so here's what I want to do. I don't think anybody's just surprised. If you remember, some guy last week in his show said a couple of things. One said that chalk would fly. In other words, the people that we think are going to win, and they did. And then the other thing that I told you is Arkansas would be crazy if they didn't hire Sam Pittman as their offensive line coach. And as their head coach. He's Georgia's offense. Arkansas did exactly that. So, and then I also said that Mike Norvell would go to FSU. I was batting 1,000 last week, unfortunately, because that means that Georgia was going to go down in a terrible defeat. And by the way, they did. So what I want to do this week is I've got 11 things on my list. I'm going to fix college football with these 11 things.
All right, let's go.
Okay, all right. So this is what we're going to do. Number one. And by the way, Christy at this point in time has just hit her fast forward button. She's going through.
Yeah, goodbye, Christy.
Goodbye, Christy. It was nice having you. Pick us up at about the 18-minute mark. Probably,
yeah, let's shoot for that.
Probably around there. And keep in mind we're filming this live, so I have no idea if it'll be the 18-minute mark. But number one, the SEC has got to move, and I'm addressing the SEC because the only way to fix college football is to address the SEC because all the other conferences are irrelevant.
Well, that is college football.
That is college
SEC,
football.
yes.
Thank you. So we're going to move from 8 conference games to 9. Stop this with the 8, move to 9. And then this will address an overall picture of college football, but we're going to move to an 8-team playoff system where all 5 conference champions go in, and then you pick 3 at large. And you still have a committee. They'll do the seeding, much less all other college sports do this. So why we can't do this at Division I level, I'm not real sure. And then the group of 5, we love them, we respect you, but you need to just go have your own national championship game. Us sitting around wondering if Hawaii or Boise State or Cincinnati, if any of those cats are going to make it into the big people's playoff, they're not. So we need to stop with the foolishness. They need to have their own.
Sort of like the NFL and the USFL. Remember that old?
Yeah, I do. And the USFL, which is where Herschel Walker got his big paycheck. So the group of 5, they just need to understand that, hey, they need to pursue their own national championship and not sit around really thinking that Boise State is somehow or another going to sneak into this 4-team playoff. Just ain't going to happen. Now, this, I'm going to anger a lot of people. In the SEC, and I don't even know Mr. Producer, Mr. Donnie Boy McLean. I don't know that people are aware of this, but SEC East teams have a West rivalry that they play every year. So, for example, Georgia plays Auburn out of the West every year. Alabama plays Tennessee out of the West every year. Florida plays LSU every year. We've got to stop doing that. We've got, because there's no it ruins all parity if you have that you play the same West team. So Georgia has to play a very good Auburn team every single year, and at the same time, Missouri gets to play Arkansas every year. That's just not fair. So I don't even care if we did away with East and West and just have one large conference and you have 9 conference games. I would be. But the East-West rivalry games. Only my grandfather's friends who appreciate that Georgia and Auburn have the longest running route. I don't think anybody cares about that, and it just ruins parity in the SEC. So just do away with that altogether. Here's the other thing that we're going to do. We're going to stop this crazy notion that bowl games are important. Bowl games aren't important. Now the 4-team playoff is, and I'm intrigued by that, and congratulations to the 4 teams that made it, and I think those are the 4 teams that deserve to make it. But this whole idea that the Cheez-It Bowl is intriguing to me. It is not. And you might say, well, Clay, but your own team, University of Georgia, is in the Sugar Bowl. I could care less. I do not care that Georgia is playing Baylor because their 5 or 6 best players aren't going to play in the game because they're afraid that they're going to tweak their ankle and ruin their draft stock. So I could care less. Will I watch it? Probably, because I have an addiction problem to college football. But do I care? Am I intrigued? Do I see the pageantry of the Rose Bowl? No, I don't give a tinker's hoot about any bowl game on this planet whatsoever. And this whole idea that we can't go to an 8-game playoff because it deflects from the pageantry of bowl games is just nonsense, just absolute nonsense. So the bowl games could all go away for all if I care. I think that was number 5. Number 6, I don't know if you've heard me say this before, but Mercer needs to hire Phillip Jones. That would be one way to improve college football.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, I think I might have hinted on that from time to time. And I can see that the big time movers and shakers of Mercer University are following this program. I mean, day by day, I can follow. It's trending. So number 7, could we do something with Beth Mowins and Gary Danielson? So Beth Mowins is the female announcer that, for whatever reason, is so desperately trying to prove that she can live in a man's world that she even tries to change her voice to be like a man's. And her poor color commentator, she just speaks over him in the whole game. And by the way, I have no issues with a female play-by-play person if you're competent and you do a good job. She's neither. So we're going to put Beth Mowins and Gary Danielson. We're going to have them call only Notre Dame games for the rest of their lives. And so I'm not going to pay attention to a Notre Dame game. So that's where we're going to send Beth Mowins and Gary Danielson so that they can talk on top of one another. Number 8, have the dead period in recruiting, have that continue until the Monday after the conference championship games. So while Georgia and LSU were preparing to play in a conference championship game, all the other coaches in the SEC were out in kids' living rooms recruiting kids. And so Georgia and LSU were somewhat a disadvantage with that. Number 9, probably the most important one, a bit of a soapbox moment, which I promise to not have too many soapbox moments on the Clay and Woodruff show, because this is not meant to be taken real seriously. But this that I'm about to tell you is almost like life or death, life and death, whatever the expression is I think in college football, if there's a football player on the team and he was formerly a high school wrestler. They have to wear neon orange helmets so fans can easily recognize superior tackling, superior hand battling, superior hip turn, and superior toughness and conditioning. So if you're a high school wrestler and you play college football, in order to impress upon high school football coaches that they really wanted a good high school football team, they'd have their high school football players wrestle. I want them wearing bright neon orange helmets. So let me give you a little case in point, because heaven forbid we would have facts and data enter into these kind of things. But today, Ware County is going to travel over to Lowndes County. You might have heard of Lowndes County. I think they're the 8th ranked team in the nation in football. We're going to go wrestle them today at 5 o'clock in Lowndes County. But they did call to let us know the majority of their team and starters would not be there, because guess why? They're going to be playing in a state championship game this weekend.
Oh, wow.
Do you see the Do you see the correlation there, Mr. Producer?
Yeah.
So the 5th, 8th, whatever ranked team in the nation won't have a lot of participants at their wrestling tournament today because the majority of their wrestlers are playing football.
You seems to be some kind of connection there.
Seems to be a connection. And Rich McWhorter, he understands it. And the guy at Lowndes County understands it. Coffee County understands it. But the rest of high school football, I don't say the rest, but the majority of high school football coaches in the state of Georgia are just, they're anti-wrestling. And I don't get that. So, and I don't know that to be the case, for, I don't know all the situations, but in Southeast Georgia, that certainly seems to be the case. Number 10, never go before your state. All right. You'll like this one. Never go before your state and fan base and say that the main purpose of your program is to build character and to make young boys into really good men and fathers and husbands, and then the next breath introduce Lane Kiffin as the next coach of Ole Miss. Just listen, there's no way that you can do that with a straight face, but by George, Ole Miss, they did it. They said that this is the man that is going to make young men into husbands and fathers, and said it with a straight face, and then send him out on the recruiting tour. We've got to stop that. And then the last thing I'll tell you is the whole Heisman. I'm done with the Heisman. We just need to call that the best quarterback award, because that's what it's all come down to. It's just it's more or less the Davey O'Brien Award. But just do away with the Heisman, because the best football player in college football is probably Chase Young, and he'll be invited to it, but he's not even seriously being considered. And even in year, and obviously this is kind of a not a serious thought now, but earlier in the year, Jake Fromm was thrown around. Jake Fromm's not even the best player on his team back when he was even, playing well. And Jake Fromm was a very good player, but Andrew Thomas and J.R. Reed are much, much better football players than them, but because they don't play quarterback or running back, they're not considered. So I think I'm poo-pooing the old Heisman Trophy as well. I'm upset with a lot of things. I'm upset with a lot of things. I'm poo-pooing. Yeah. That's strong. We just went from a G-rated show to perhaps a PG-rated show. So those are the things. And by the way, not that I don't know that I really care, but I think it's LSU and Clemson in the final game. And I think LSU wins. I think LSU plays Clemson, and I think Clemson is going to win. So that's kind of so now. If this is around the 18-minute mark, and this is where Christy Miller is coming back, this will be a great transition. Just out of curiosity,
we need to let her know we're about the 13.
Oh, we're the 13 minute,
14 minutes.
All right, so she needs to back up. She needs to back up. Okay, so this is something that we need to do from time to time. But the Georgia Men's Associating meeting met in Luleton, Georgia. A couple of weeks ago. That's where just representative of real men. You know what a real man, what I'm saying, a man's man. We met over in Luleton, and we just look at the rules of being a man, and we went over some things, and they wanted me to report back out some of those findings. I think, of all people, I think Christy Miller would find these to be very helpful. So there's things that women will ask us to consider, and we will go to the meeting, typically at a fish camp. This one was at Luleton, and we'll discuss these kind of things, much like the United Nations over in Luleton. Yeah. And we'll discuss these things, and then we'll come back and say, well, ladies, we've heard you. We've thought about it. We've been open-minded, and here we want to report back to you. And these were the issues that the ladies brought forward to us, and we want to give our response. Okay. Number one, they asked us to recognize that there's actually different kinds of shampoos, and they are of a belief set that all shampoos are not created equally. We didn't discuss this one very long because this is absolute nonsense. Okay. So, and if I'm not mistaken, my wife might've been the one that submitted this. So my wife will go to my good friends. We as a small town, we have to go to different beauty shops or whatever you want to call them, hairdo places, because we try to share the love. But we're big fans of the Gilded Cage, and we're big fans of the girls over at Holly's. But both of those ladies, those teams of deceivers at Holly's and Gilded Cage have brainwashed these women into thinking that the $19 shampoo and $29 shampoo that they have on their shelves is different than the White Rain that I'm buying from the Dollar General. And all shampoo comes from this big tub, I think somewhere outside of Kansas City. And you get these different bottles, and you put all these different things for dry and damaged hair. And my wife's favorite one is to protect the color that she's had added to her hair.
Color protection.
Because of color protection, because obviously that shampoo is going to color protect better than my White Rain, which is 79 cents. And this is a 50-cent word for you, Mr. Producer, but that's baloney. That's baloney. That's crazy. That's craziness. So what I'm suggesting that all men do is what I did until my marriage became in the balance, and I had to ease off of this a little bit because my wife caught me. She bought some of this here Gilded Cage $39 shampoo, but she made the mistake of leaving the little tag on top of it where it said $39. I got into the shower, had a small little heart attack in the shower because I saw that we as a family had just paid $39 for shampoo. And so what I did every morning was I would open up her top, and I would take my White Rain and I would squirt my White Rain in the top. And this went on for quite some time. And so then I dressed her. I was like, $39, are we sure that's the best investment for a family of our means? And she goes, well, I will tell you this, it's lasted a long time. So I was so proud of myself. But she finally got on to me when she was still using the same shampoo bottle for 6 months. But I was just squeezing in a little bit every morning. So the men, I think, using great wisdom, they decided that the fact of the matter is that all shampoos are the same, and everyone should go buy White or Suave.
And well, you had a strong case there because that's been you scientifically proved.
I proved it
that it's the same.
It's the same thing. She could tell no difference. And if you need to feel like your shampoo's a little niftier than it really is, just call it Suave, because it's Suave.
Oh, I got you.
It's Suave.
Oh,
okay.
You
see the. It's the accent. It's a little. So the first one, ladies, we appreciate the input, but we had to turn that one down. The second one is I hate to just tell you up front, but it was bad news as well. They came forward with this notion that there was an appropriate time and place to buy a $49 T-shirt, and that was quickly shot down as well. And they even presented to us an example. And my good friends at Megan's Boutique will be aware of this, but a T-shirt that simply says Ross and Rachel, referring to
Friends.
Friends, yeah. Everybody loves Friends.
Sure.
I don't know that I need a $49 T-shirt.
I don't like them that much.
To tell my friends that, hey, I'm big on Ross and Rachel. Now, $9.99, $15.99, I might be willing to let the world know, thumbs up to Ross and Rachel. But a $39 T-shirt that simply says Ross and Rachel, not too fond of. We went to a country music concert, and so I was told to go buy her a T-shirt. And so I went up to my good friends at Megan's Boutique at the Flanders Shopping Center on Plant Avenue. And they had a T-shirt that my wife was kind of fond of, and it said, blame it all on my roots. That's all it said. Blame it all on my roots. Garth Brooks.
Right.
Garth Brooks not even receiving royalties for this. It's like in Comic Sans print across the T-shirt, and I'm shelling out $39 for a Garth Brooks reference of some 15 or 20 years ago. And so when that came before the board, we vehemently denied that there was ever a place for a $49 T-shirt. So
I agree.
Those immediately need to be removed now that the votes come down from Megan's Boutique and all other shopping outlets. Those have to be removed. Now, in good news, a third motion, which has been debated for years, we finally, I think we're open-minded people. We came forward and we said, you know what? It's time as men that we do this. We finally said that the toilet seat should stay down. Now, it was a close vote, and I'll be honest, the Southern delegation down in South Georgia, we weren't voting for it. But the softies up in the Atlanta delegation, they gave in. They caved. They caved to pressure. So now you will see, ladies, toilet seats, lids
start to
yeah. I mean, not right,
show it, yeah.
not right away.
Take a while. I mean, because the word we're just now putting the word
getting the word
out.
out. So gradually you will begin to see.
Still check when you go in there.
Still check at night.
Don't just go in there blindly.
That's right.
But eventually you're going to be able to go blindly.
You're going to see it because this vote took place.
That's awesome.
Exactly.
Awesome news.
Over a period of time.
Congratulations, ladies.
We're slow movers. All right. So those are the three things we just wanted to report back up to you. You can see these on all of your news outlets like via Facebook, CBS. I think
all the major networks.
All the major networks were there, and the public broadcasting was there as well. And it was a sweet moment when the men.
This is monumental.
It is.
I'd be surprised if they weren't there.
Yeah, and all those people were there. So just look for it amongst any type of social media that you might find out there. You will see the updates on those three things that we took on. What's on your plate today, Mr. Producer?
Well, my wife loves these quizzes on Facebook. We do a lot of stuff on Facebook.
That's right.
And I was wondering if maybe
like
you might
quizzes as in trivia?
Quizzes about yourself.
Oh, like quizzes like how many times,
and then you share with your friends.
I got you.
And so
I got you.
I was wondering if you might be willing to go run through one of these.
I'll run through a quick quiz.
All right, well, let's go here. So how old are you?
So I am 45 years old, 4974.
Okay. And
45 years old.
And I don't know what all these are. So
you fire away. No secrets on the Clay and Woodrow show.
Okay, well, we're
transparent if nothing else.
We're going straight through.
Okay.
How many surgeries?
So I think 3. One, 2 very minor. 1 I would consider somewhat major. Okay. I was in the hospital for 12 days.
So 3.
3.
Okay. Tattoos?
Well, no, I do not. I have no tattoos, and not necessarily anti-tattoo. I'm just a big chicken. So
it's not that bad. Yeah, I've got one.
Yeah,
so
I do. That's one of the reasons when you and I were interviewing, because there was a list of people wanting to be a producer over here. One of the things that I said, I want a guy with a tattoo. I think it gives us some street cred.
That's why I got it.
Okay,
because I had no street cred.
Okay, all right.
And okay, so piercings. Do you have any?
Come on, look. I'm like a man's man. I don't have a piercing. I'm leading meetings in Luliton. I can't have any piercings.
They would not let you.
No, I have no piercings. I have no piercings.
Have you ever hit a deer?
I'm hoping that's with a vehicle, and no, I have. I have not.
Have you ever hit a deer not in a vehicle?
I have missed a ton of deer from a deer stand, but no, I've never hit a deer in a vehicle.
Okay. Rode in an ambulance.
I have. And so, okay, I got a classic story. I got a classic ambulance story. One thing is my ambulance. Okay, so Maury Devane, who is no longer with us, but she was Princeton Memorial Drive and probably one of my favorite people that's ever walked on this earth. My wife was working at Memorial Drive, and she worked for Maury, and all of a sudden, I have a bad history with kidney stones. But the first time I had kidney stones, I didn't know it was kidney stones. I just thought I was dying. It was horrible. I was walking to my bathroom, and the next thing you know, I am sprawled out on my floor. And not that everybody wants to hear this. I was just throwing up everywhere in my floor. It was rough. It was a pain, and kidney stones never even came across my mind. So I did get to a cell phone. I called Memorial Drive, and it was so bad. We lived out at the Forks of the Hurricane. A neighbor had sent an ambulance for me, but the ambulance was getting pretty close. When I got, Maury actually was talking to him on the phone. They were trying to get Brooke out of the classroom, and she goes, "Clay, we're sending Brooke right now to get to meet you. Just hold tight." So I said, not knowing that she didn't know that an ambulance was coming to get me, I said, "I don't know that she's going to make it in time." So Maury Devane you know, this is how tough she is. She goes, come on, Clay, get a hold of yourself. You're going to make it through. You're going to make it through. She thought I was talking about that I was going to, you know, drop dead of kidney stone. I was like, no. I'm saying I think that I'm going to be, that I send her to the hospital. I think the ambulance will already be here. But so I have had one ambulance trip. And I'm embarrassed to say, but it actually was kidney stones, which I took an ambulance trip for.
Wow.
And they took a right towards Alma instead of left towards Waycross. I was coherent enough to redirect them, you know, back to the correct. They thought they were going to the Waycross Hospital, but they were going to the wrong way.
Oh man. Okay. Well, so just one time.
Just once. Yeah.
And that was bad enough.
And probably not necessary, but I did not know at the time.
Let's see. Saying karaoke.
I've been down the brick house, play that funky music.
Oh, you're a brick house.
I'm a brick house kind of guy.
Okay.
So the key to karaoke is if you're not a good singer, which is me, you got to pick a song that the audience automatically participates in to drown down your singing.
There you go.
That's a karaoke technique that Uncle Clay wants to share with everybody.
People need to know that.
Yeah, don't come, pick some, obscure Coldplay song that nobody knows. Go middle of the road.
I'm thinking
Sweet Caroline, something like that.
I'm thinking that most people that sing karaoke there don't realize the lack of their own talent.
Oh, that's the beauty of karaoke. So I have no desire at all to hear people who are really good sing karaoke. That's boring to me. Or hear people that are really bad but know they're really bad. The jewel is to hear people sing that think they are good singers and are horrible singers. That's what karaoke's all about. I'm one of those guys. I'm going to let you know right out of the bat. I'm not too good at this. You know.
Let's see. Ice skated.
Never ice skated, and I can promise you, if I attempted, it would be disastrous. Now I can ski very well, but I can't roller skate to save my life. So ice skating, I've not tried, but nor would I. I'd be miserable at it.
I've done it once, and I've
Did you
slid
stay
into home?
Okay,
and yeah.
Don't take this the wrong way, but that's kind of what I pictured.
It was ugly. It was ugly. Rode a motorcycle.
I'm a four-wheel kind of, not big on speed, not big on heights, which the boys in Littleton frown upon, but it's just how God made me. Don't like speed or heights.
Yeah. Let's see. How many times have you stayed in the hospital? Did you stay in the hospital?
Overnight, I'm going to go 5 or 6 times.
5 or 6?
Yeah. My kidney, everybody wants to know about my kidney stone history. Look right here. But my kidney stones get so bad, you say, well, Clay, just take some pain medicine. Nobody cares about it. I vomit so bad, they can't get it under control with something, so they have to give me an IV to get me to stop.
Oh wow!
From hurling. My mom's gonna be especially proud of this episode.
Yeah, I can just see it in my mind.
Yeah.
All right. Skip school. Have you ever skipped school?
I did it in college, but like I would have told the college professor, like I'm going hunting this morning. So I've never skipped school like without people's knowledge. But at my household, growing up, if I wanted to skip school, I just would have told my parents, hey, what you think about me not going to school tomorrow? They're probably like, well, yeah, tell me why. So, so I don't think I really have ever skipped school.
Not really. Okay. Who was your last phone call to?
Honestly, I have no clue. Let us see. My last phone call, recent.
And you may just want to use their first name, so we're reaching so many people that
I'm just going to go to a safe one because I don't want to give any of my customer. I've actually, my last phone call was a customer, and I don't want to. They're like, I don't want people to know that I'm associated with this. So I'll go with a safe one. Michael D'Ambrosio.
Okay,
that's my last phone call.
All right. Who was your last text from?
From Brent Waters, another good friend of mine. I'm 2 for 2. Two
okay.
good. Those are potential pallbearers, by the way. Michael D'Ambrosio and Brent Waters, both potentially pallbearers. I'm gonna be honest. Brent's he's got to bulk up a little bit, but
he can get there.
Yeah, he could get there
easily.
Yeah. He needs to bulk up a little bit. If he could get up to a solid 170, he'd be pallbearer potential.
Okay. Pepsi or Coke?
This is easy. Well, let me be clear. First of all, if I wanted Pepsi, I would just let my Coke go flat. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm actually a Diet Coke guy. But if you really want to know, I'm a Diet Sunkist guy. If Diet Sunkist was cold beer, I'd be in Betty Ford right now. I love me some Diet Sunkist.
Diet Sunkist.
So
I did not even know they
yeah.
had that.
So I'm afraid now the fans are going to flood me with cases of Diet Sunkist. Now
Diet Sunkist.
Diet Sunkist. Try it. I'm serious. I love it.
I will. Let's see. Favorite pie.
Pie?
Pie. Just coming off of Thanksgiving.
I'm going to go, I'm a solid pecan pie. And if you call it pecan, I'll kick you out of my house. Pecan pie.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Nobody should say pecan.
I don't even know who those people are.
But pecan pie.
Canadians. That's who says that.
Oh.
Canadians. And my mom.
And people that should live in Canada.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. Where's your favorite place to get pizza?
So, not a pizza guy. Don't like it. I mean, like I'll eat it because it's 50% of my daughter's intake as far as nutrition, so I have to eat it, but don't particularly like pizza. But if I had to pick, I will say Papa John's because they give you those little peppers in the corner. I'm a fan of that.
Yeah. Let's see. Favorite season?
Fall, but based upon sports. You get the culmination of Major League Baseball ending, college football starting, weather getting cooler. Fall. I'm a fall guy.
Yeah. Broken bones. Have you ever had any broken bones?
So broken finger. I don't know if you can see that one right
Ouch.
there. This one here. And then I broke my nose and my tailbone.
Nose and tailbone.
Nose, not all at the same time. Those are separate accidents. But yeah, so very minor stuff. Nose, tailbone, right hand ring finger.
Okay. Have you ever received
This was a manly flag football injury. I was deciding if I wanted to say that or not, but I actually broke my finger playing some flag football.
Hey, it's a lot more dangerous than people want to admit.
Yeah, flag, it could be rough.
Have you ever received a ticket from
2 Saturdays ago?
Oh, recently.
2 Saturdays ago? 2 Saturdays ago. Listen.
Any more details there?
So I was coming home from duck hunting, and we were trying to meet up with my brother and my uncle to go see Banner wrestle over in Brantley County, and I was running a little bit behind. So not only did I get pulled over and get a ticket, but I also had on the black camo stripes across my face, and because I wear pajamas under my waders because they're easier to get in and out of, I was in my pajama pants and a t-shirt with black stripes across my face because I've been duck hunting, and I had a loaded shotgun sitting next to me. So it was an interesting morning. No, it wasn't. It was unloaded. I'll be honest, I would never ride in a car with a loaded gun. It was unloaded, but I did have a shotgun right next to me. But the guy, it was super professional. The shotgun didn't bother him. He was as courteous as he could be. He was doing his job. I was speeding. Is what it is.
That's a good one.
I'm
glad we did this.
Do the crime, pay the time. Wait. Do the crime. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm paying the time.
All right. Your favorite color?
I don't have a favorite color. I'm a grown man. Blue.
And let's see.
That makes me seem uneducated. I should say something. I wish I had that one to do over. I should say something.
What's your favorite color?
Teal.
Teal.
Yes. Next question. Better go into that.
Let's go.
That doesn't seem too genuine.
Sunset or sunrise?
Would you just like to rip my man card out of my pocket?
We've already had the Lulaton.
Because we're East Coast people, I'll go sunrise because of the beach. Yeah, I'll go sunrise on that.
See, I'm a late night person, so I'm not up in time to see the sunrise, and I don't see very many sunsets. So
just the one tattoo,
just one. That's it. So, well, that's all I got.
That's okay.
And I think that's all we needed.
That's all we need. And right now, Christy Miller's just now finding us.
Christy, if you missed it, if you missed anything after the football, jump in about the 14-minute mark.
More than anything, you need to be at Subway at about 11:45 and just watching the ladies drool over your man over there turning wrenches. So, in summary, today, what have we learned? We've learned that Subway is a very crowded place around 11:45 on weekdays for the sole reason of turning wrenches. Number 2, we've learned that actually all shampoos are created equal. Number 3, that Philip Jones needs to be the coach of Mercer University. Number 4 is, I think, and probably most importantly out of the list, is we need to do away with the East-West rivalry. And then last but not least would be I'm not man enough to have a tattoo. So there you go. Listen, we appreciate you joining in, and we'll be back with you next Tuesday for a holiday edition, a Christmas edition of the Clay and Woodrow Show. We haven't even checked in with Woodrow today. He's fine over there. He is just now filing some papers this morning for us. He's been kind of quiet this morning. It's a big spa day yesterday. He's smelling better than ever. But you guys have a great day. Thanks for tuning in, and we will catch you next Tuesday. Thank you.